Welcome to Vlog Thursday. So today is gonna be a story time, y'all. Okay, I know a lot of channels who does story time only, and yeah, Vlog Thursday we're mixing it up. We've done reactions, we've done activities, we've done a lot of stuff like talking about like commentary type. Today we're doing a story time like a lot of these channels out here. This story is gonna be a little bit mysterious, y'all.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And so this is a story time that's not really what I experienced. Basically, it's a story about my past, not my exactly, but kind of like my heritage, I guess. So as y'all can see on the thumbnail and on the title, y'all might understand what it means, but y'all might not as well. So let me explain it to y'all. So before I start, I just want to say that every single one of this is just a theory, or it's just myth or a legend. It's not real. I can't validate if it's real or not, but what I can say is that it's pretty cool thing. At least when I hear the story from my uncles and all of that, it was really cool to actually hear about it. So let's start with the main character of this story. Let's kind of give him a name. This dude name is Nick. That's not a real name, by the way. So yeah, so Nick is somebody who lives on a castle. What does that mean? Basically that means that Nick is the son of a king.
Okay.
And so they live all together as a powerful kingdom in the castle, reigning over the town of, I'm gonna call this town Kayla. Okay, so the town of Kayla reigned by the king, which is Nick's father, and they have a son called Nick.
Wait a minute.
And some other siblings as well, but Nick is probably this one right there. And so they live happy for now. And suddenly one day, what happened was there was like a lot of fighting going on. Probably like fighting for the spot on who to be the next king after his father died. And then something sparked this, something did that, a lot of things went into another things. Everything turned sour and Nick decided to run away.
Serious?
So basically Nick at that time was like, I don't know, like 30 years old or 40 even, I don't know.
Really, nigga?
But he already got married and has a son. Then because all of this trouble he got into and all of these fights, he decided to leave his wife and take his one son, who's probably like 15 or 16, and run away from the town slash the kingdom of Kayla.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
And then from this kingdom called Kayla, in the day probably around the 1890 something, they ran away, walked, bring all of their stuff, probably brought things, probably loot some things from the castle so they can survive out there, stuff like a spear, some of the king's thing, I don't know what it's called, all of that. Some of them Nick got them and brought it with him, with his son as well.
Stop it. Get some help.
Then as they were walking really far away from there, and Kayla is just gone from their mind because they want to think about the future and going to erase the past about Kayla. They walk for a long time, probably along the line, so I don't know, like 6 days or a week or something, and they decided to stop on this place. I'm gonna call this place Sega out here. Sega is a small town, just a little community, I guess, and Nick and his son decided to stop here. And so they started just looking at people around here, getting to know this place. Then they decided maybe we should stop here and make this our new place.
It is what it is.
So Nick and his son got this place called Sega as their new home, and they settle in right there. Everything's going fine. All of them grown up. His son, Nick's son, which I'm gonna call him Abdul. So Abdul grown up, married a woman in this town Sega, and then got a child.
Oh my God!
And then a lot of things happen in there, and suddenly you know who that child is, those kid is, those daughter is my grandmother. So basically my grandmother and then got my mother, and then my mother got me. That's how I fit into Nick up there, who is the child of a king.
Damn!
Basically all of this is all just theory and stories and legends and myths, but it might be true because back when my grandmother was a kid, his father, which is Abdul, told her about this story and all. He said all about this, and it might be true. In the story, Abdul seems like he lived back in the day, so he knows, like, it's not like he's a baby when he ran away, like 15 or 14, 16, something like that. So he can register in his mind what's happening. And he told my grandmother, which is his daughter. Then of course my grandmother gonna pass it down to, you know, everybody. And then of course I heard this story when I was like, I guess 14 or something. It's a crazy story. Of course, you know, people around my mother's family, my mother's family is really big. My grandmother, of course, not just got my mother, got 8 other children. So there's a lot of people, not just me, that could, you know, go back to the king of Kayla back. My cousin could, you know, my other cousin could, a lot of my cousins could. But of course, my mother is the oldest between all of her siblings. So that makes, you know, my mother's child, which is me, the only guy in my family, you know, kind of got the highest stakes above everybody else.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit.
So that is a cool thought to, you know, always think about. You know, I could be related right now to actual king of Kayla right now. I'm actually not gonna say anything about, you know, what is real thing is, because I don't know if it's real or not. Kind of like evidence, I guess. One is that, you know, the people around my mother's family, they have like things like the spear that we're talking about. One of them had something that a king wear on their belt, something like that, and it's really cool, but it's got burnt down when back in like the 1940s, around Japan days, when they came to Malaysia. There's a lot of stuff and all. And the other really big evidence right here is right on the Kayla place. There's a museum right there, and in the museum it tells us about the heritage of the king, or we call it the sultan. In the family tree, I guess, you know, the stages where, oh, there's this kid, there's this kid. One of the names in there is the main character right there, Nick.
Okay.
The only one that doesn't have any connection at all after is Nick. So basically everybody else, I don't know, let's say a name. I guess let's say Daniel. Daniel got a son, and then they got married with somebody, and then got a grandchild, and then got, you know, somebody else. And then this dude, let's say Joe. Joe got this, got this, got this. Everybody has a heritage until Nick. His heritage is erased down here. Nothing can be found from him. That's why one of the reasons I think it might be true, because there's evidence on the museum right there. Still, we can't claim it, you know. I don't know actually what we can do with it, but I just heard stories, and I think it's pretty cool for me to, you know, hear about it and tell you guys about it. And yeah, I guess that's it for this story time. I don't know if it's cool for y'all. If it sounds cool, I want you to give it a like, and yeah, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in another vlog Thursday. This kind of simple video. Peace.
I don't wanna fight your heart with my heart. Don't wanna fight your love with my lust. I don't wanna play these damn games, cause I don't trust in everybody.